Good afternoon, class. Stella Henry here. We're going to be treating a topic under church administration, and it's going to be our last topic for this time. It's going to be a very quick one. At the end of the day, you just need to be able to understand the definition of frugality. What is frugality? When you hear frugality, what do you think it's all about? How does it help a church? You should be able to tell us or tell someone principles of frugality. Frugality is the careful and wise use of money, resources, and opportunities. And if frugality is the careful use of money, of course, that doesn't mean that a frugal person is someone who is wasteful, or someone who is a miser, or someone who is usually stingy, or someone who likes to impress people. It's somebody who knows how to count their pennies. It's somebody who is able to give account of everything. It must not really be money. That's why we say money, resources, and opportunities. Are you able to give account of opportunities? Several times when you sit down, you realize that you have really wasted a lot of opportunities without even realizing them, without even recognizing them. Some of us, till today, we still eat food and then we prepare what we cannot finish, and then we keep dumping food in the dustbin when somebody else needs it. And sometimes we think it's a beautiful way to live. But you, as a child of God, you have to live a frugal life. If you live anything less than frugal life, that's a waste, and that's even a sin. Because the time you are trashing food in the trash can, there's somebody else who would have eaten that as a meal. So as a child of God, as a church administrator, as somebody who works in the house, when you're eating, you need to eat frugal meal. What is frugal meal? When you order what you can just eat, not order what you should eat and trash the rest in the can. Like a lot of us want to really prosper, but when you come into our lives, we keep wasting a lot. So how are you going to prosper? For you to prosper, the first thing you do is that you waste nothing. You do not waste nothing, and then that leads you to the way of prosperity. And this is why opposite of frugality is prodigality. Can you think about the prodigal son who came and requested for half of the inheritance of the kingdom according to Luke? He got all of them and he left. He wasted everything, and then he became a poor person. And then he came back, but thank goodness for his father. Thank goodness for his father who robed him again and brought him back to who he was before he left. He was rich. He was a royal person, enjoying the royalty. But then he carried half of the kingdom, requested for half of the things in the kingdom. And then he left and wasted everything. So after wasting everything finished, and he became a poor person. So when you're being wasteful, you are reducing your chances of being a great person. We turn our light on, the electric bulb, 2000 watts, 500 watts. If he likes, let it be 300 watts. We leave the light on to run. It's running. That's waste. Light, your bulb is on from morning till evening. It is waste. During the day, turn it off. You're not using it. Sometimes you see tap water, it will be dripping water. When you look at it, it's like, oh, it's dripping. That's just a little drip. It's dripping. But a little drip can cause an ocean. You are reducing your chances of being a rich person. Stop wasting things. You drop money here, for you it's like it's little, just let it go. You keep doing let it go here and let it go there. You have to count your pennies. A church administrator has a lot of work to do here. A church administrator needs to, anybody who wants to be a church, because I understand that we have church administrators in the house. Yeah, frugality should be your friend. It's going to help you to understand what their church drivers are doing. You know, these church drivers, they'll come and tell you, oh, okay, we need to service this car. And then they'll request for money. And then your job is just to draw out, give money. Tomorrow they come back again. Oh, there's a noise. I heard some bad noise in the car. It needs to go again to the mechanic. And then you do what? You draw money out and you give. But what you haven't paid attention to is that the church driver is still trying to do the same thing that he did yesterday. But when you pay attention, because you want to give account of every penny, you're going to realize that the penny you gave yesterday was for the same thing that he's asking for today. So paying attention to this thing called frugality, understanding the principles of frugality, is going to help you to save a church a whole lot. Some of the things we do in life, we don't remember that at the end of the day, we're going to give account to the Maker. For instance, it's like everything we have, God gave us, right? Now, God himself might not remind you the education he gave you, the job or life that he gave you. But one day, he will ask you to give an account of what is in control of something that has been under your control. So now you're going to get up and give account of everything that is under your control. You were educated, by the way. What did you do with your education? You got a job. You made so much money. What did you do with it? You had a life. Life was given to you while you were here on earth. How did you use it? You have a good voice. What do you use it for? Your good voice was given to you to sing in the church, not to parade around and scream and gossip. So at the end of the day, you're going to give account of these whole things. So if you are able to count your pennies as a church administrator, and as, of course, everybody in the Christendom, if you're able to give account, then you are preparing yourself to be able to give account as a steward. When that time ticks, you are able to give account back to the owner. Because the simple truth is that whatever you have brought here, you're not gonna take it back to heaven. If you have that gift of deliverance, you use it here. If he has given you a gift to serve, move around, you talk to people, and people can really understand you, but then you say, oh no, I like keeping to myself. So you're trying to carry that gift to heaven, and we say that it's not working out. And we need to understand that God is employing and dismissing. So at the end of this course, you just need to understand that God is in the business of employing and dismissing. God employs you and you don't even understand it. You don't want to use the privilege. You are going to abuse the privilege. When there's somebody else who is crying, God is going to take it away from you and he's going to give it to a stone. And you see what the stone can do with the same thing that you wasted. Let's remember that God employed Moses to deliver the Israelites from Egypt to the promised land. So when he disobeyed, he did what? He was told to that he was not going to enter into the promised land. God employed Elijah to fight the prophets of Baal, but when he complained, God dismissed him and picked up Elisha. So now the question is, how can we use what we have wisely? To answer this question correctly or better, Doug Hayward, the one we're using his book, developed 7 principles of frugality. So by the time you know these 7 principles, for instance, I know one of the principles is principle of picking up the crumbs. So you can imagine Jesus, the miracle maker, after performing miracle and feeding the multitude, the same Jesus who could perform another miracle, he told his disciples to do what? To pick up the crumbs. Because he didn't want anything to go wasted. This is how serious it is. This is how important it is. The same Jesus who performed miracle, the same Jesus who can as well perform another miracle, he insisted that we are not wasting nothing. Pick up the crumbs, count. And they picked the crumbs and counted them, and there were 12 baskets. So counting every penny did not start today. Giving account did not start. They came back and gave account that they picked 12 baskets. Picking up your crumbs is going to help you to get to where you're going. Picking up your crumbs and counting every penny is going to help you to come out from that abject poverty and connect to the prosperity that is looking for you. For you to do the kingdom work and do it very well, of course, you need to prosper. And then finally, when the Lord has called you, you're going to be standing as a steward and you're going to give account of everything that He put under your control. What are those things that are under your control? And we must learn to treasure little things. The earlier you learn how to treasure things, the better for you, the better for us all. There are certain things we need to learn to value. Can you imagine people go to school just to study how to value? I mean, I have a friend who went to school for 5 years. She came out and she became an estate valuer. So what she values are homes. So people go to school to value stuff. This is how important it is to value, to give account. There are people in life that we don't value. And then if you're careless there, you might be careless everywhere. But the earlier you become careful on who to value, how to treasure things. For instance, nurses, when you hear about nurses, especially African nurses, it's like, quack nurses. You don't want to think about them, but they can save life. They do a lot of little things to save life. They create ways for the doctor to come. They prepare everything and get everything ready. And then doctor just comes in for the main job. We have to value these people, because if they make mistake or they slow down in what they do, we can lose lives. We don't value teachers. Once you hear about teachers, it's like, you just heard about gossip. You just heard about people who are crazy. You just heard about people who have no jobs. Why didn't they become doctors? Why didn't they become lawyers? But if you are sitting in this class today and you can understand what I'm saying and you can read and write without anybody helping you, honey, I want you to turn back and say thanks to your teacher. Your teacher taught you how to read and write. Your teacher taught you how to do a lot. Of course, we have parents who help us, but your teacher did a lot of work. I'm talking about parents. Do we even attach a lot of value to our parents? A lot of times you realize that we don't attach value to our parents. That's why your mother is calling you, come home, son. And then you're just busy doing stuff in the city until your mother dies. That mother dies, and then you come home, and then you bring all the money that she never ate, and you want to do a befitting burial for your mother. Why did she not eat? She cried, she wept, she sold landed properties to make you who you became. But you came out and you just got so busy in the city. This woman did not eat, neither did she wear good clothes. But then she dies, and you spend the whole entire world to give her a befitting burial. Brother, on the last day, you're going to give her account. Attach importance to things that really need it. When Jesus died, the women brought perfume and spices, but by the time they got there, it was too late because he was already gone. Jesus was gone. So Jesus was probably not valued while he was alive. So we have to value things before we lose them. Value your pastor. Value your mother. Value everything that you need to value. Value your gift. Don't say, who am I? You are somebody. You are not an accident. You are not here by accident either. What is it that is in your hand? Moses used what was in his hand. What is in your hand? Dear chorister, what are you doing with your voice? Because you're going to give account at the end of the day. And there's more to this. I won't take all your time. But I encourage everybody to really take frugality very seriously. Especially those who are settling down as church administrators. Tomorrow, don't look at the church you are running today. You might be running a small church today, but tomorrow you might find yourself in a 100,000-seater church. How are you going to run? How are you going to pin down and count all the pennies that are coming in and going out? So I will let you go through the PowerPoint, and we just have a very small question. What is frugality? And we need to make sure that you understood frugality at this time, which you need to, and then the principles. You give us 5 principles of frugality. I wish you all the best in your exams. God